All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro, also broadcasting live, by the way, not just on KDWN, but we are on YouTube, the Vegas Take page. We're everywhere. We're also all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Check us out. Also, our website, thevegastake.com, and, of course, right here on KDWN as well. So we always love having this guy on the show, and what better person to talk about some of these issues in L.A., in California, Kobe Bryant, Harvey Weinstein. We get it all from this man. He's known as Mr. X. He is the Hollywood conservative. We don't say his name on the show because he is a hotshot Hollywood producer who also happens to be a conservative, a Donald Trump supporter, and we always appreciate his perspective when he comes on the show. Mr. X, thanks for joining us, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'll be honest, man. The Kobe thing really hit me hard. I know you want to talk about that. I mean, this was one of my idols, and
Me too.
I don't know if I've ever been so upset about a celebrity death. I mean, I was really bent out of shape about it.
Can I just say, you are echoing exactly what I said in the first segment of this show. Mr. X,
Yeah.
I said the exact same thing. We've all been sad when celebrities have lost their lives. I've never been choked up like I have the last couple days, this week,
No,
really. And you're
me
right.
either.
You're right. And I think we probably agree it's because of the people he touched, the circumstances, losing his 13-year-old daughter, 7 others. Yeah, the good father, the family man.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a painting of this kind of like painting of Kobe dunking on someone in my office. I mean, I've been a Kobe fan since he came into the league. I've been a Lakers fan my whole life, and the thing that really sucked the most, I mean, everything about it sucked. Him losing his daughter and the other people is the worst part. But
Sure.
from an LA person's perspective, it just Kobe was our guy. Like LA was all about Kobe. You can't drive anywhere in LA and not see, Kobe and graffiti murals on walls, and just, I mean, he stuck with with just the Lakers throughout his entire career. That never happens anymore. Like, it was really rough, man. And then watching I loved all of the, it was crazy just how many people, posted about it and were affected by it. I mean, that if Donald Trump and Barack Obama are posting about someone, that it's important, and O.J. Simpson even posted a tribute to Kobe.
Hello, Twitter world. It's yours truly.
God,
Yeah, that idiot. But no,
yeah.
you're absolutely right. And I want to talk about some of the negative stuff. Sadly, we've talked about the great person that was Kobe Bryant, the father, the husband, the teacher, the philosopher, the businessman. I mean, there was so many. I mean, we can go on and on about all the positives, but it ggets me very angry about some of these negatives.
I got banned from Evan Rachel Wood's Twitter, so I'm proud of that. I mean,
Did you really?
Oh yeah, because she posted right after he passed. I mean,
I saw that.
Within
What a nitwit.
an hour, this guy's a rapist, and I lost my mind, and honestly, I want to talk about that for a second.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Accusing, I don't know what to do about this rape thing, and it pertains to Weinstein too, because Kobe's not a rapist.
Of course not.
The guy was acquitted. He was never charged. So
Right.
It's okay, so I'm not stupid, and I know something happened in that hotel room, but my biggest problem with somebody like Evan Rachel Wood and these Me Too feminist idiots who essentially
Abigail Disney's another one.
Yeah, they always just immediately take the side of the victim, and that's fine. But they refuse to consider, what if it's not what you think? I just don't know.
Well, the law says it's not. I mean, let's
that's
be.
what I'm saying.
Let's be factual.
Yeah. So what are we going to go off?
Well, here's my opinion, Mr. X, and I think you'll agree with me on this one. If you call Kobe Bryant a rapist, you are a moron, and you have hatred inside of you, and you're either ignorant or you're a racist. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
We just played audio, Mr. X, of a teacher in a classroom in L.A. calling Kobe a rapist, saying he killed his family, just the worst possible things you could say. And I'm going to tell you something. He's not the only one. I mean, and listen, there's been awful media coverage. I defend TMZ. They did nothing wrong. But ABC News has now suspended a reporter. His name is Matt Gutman, over an inaccurate statement about the Kobe crash, saying that all members of his family were on the helicopter.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility as members of the media to get it right. TMZ got it right. But for these people out there that said Rick Fox was on the helicopter.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's outrageous. I mean, what do you think about the media coverage?
It's funny, too, and I actually agree with you about TMZ. I saw that TMZ was catching a lot of flack, and I saw that there was some petition to shut down TMZ because – I get it, because essentially they did report what happened prior to Vanessa knowing, and
we don't know that though. But
I mean, that's what was said, and I agree with you. But my opinion on that is that I back TMZ. Like they are probably one of the most accurate and quick, news reporting outlets.
And Mr. X, can I interject? And I want to add something. We had Mike Babcock from TMZ on our show on Tuesday. He comes on our show every week. He's one of the guys that broke this story with TMZ. He told us on the air that Harvey got a call from a law enforcement official. And before they posted any of this news, they had to confirm it, and they reached out to members of Kobe Bryant's team. They confirmed that it was true. If members of Kobe Bryant's team knew that it was true, I can almost damn well assure you that Kobe Bryant's family knew. So I think they did their due diligence.
I agree, and also too, like they're doing their job. And one thing I like about TMZ, they don't post a bunch of opinions. I don't go on there and see a bunch of crazy nonsense that's super politicized. Like they kind of just post what happened, and they just post it fast. Like I that's the type of media coverage I appreciate, rather than having to read some crazy opinion piece about, whatever. Like
couldn't agree with you more.
I look to the media.
Yeah.
For. So no, I'm not upset. I'm not mad at TMZ.
Neither am I. I think you can make the argument TMZ gets it right more than just about anybody, and they're probably one of the most reputable sources right now anywhere. Sadly,
no, they are.
Yeah, but they are, and I have a lot of respect for them. I think they do an excellent job, and I think Babcock and Evan Rosenblum over there at TMZ Sports, they come on our show all the time, and I appreciate them, and I think they handled it well. I really did. Before we move on to other topics, since you're out there in L.A., what is it like? I mean, what has the scene been out there the last couple of days? I would imagine everywhere you go, people are wearing Kobe jerseys. What's it like?
Yeah, they are. I mean, everywhere I've gone, people were talking about Kobe, wearing jerseys. I mean, it just was, down at Staples, there was a big tribute to him. And it's like, I mean, the guy really was a hero here. I mean, and it's crazy. All I can say is, like, this is the last possible person it seemed like this could have happened.
He was Superman. He was Superman.
He was so
superhero.
Strong and so smart and so educated and so cool. And it was just like, I was on the phone with my brother when it happened, and we were talking about something else. And he said, I'm getting all these weird texts about Kobe. What happened? I said, I don't know. Went online and I started seeing it, and I was like, I just kind of laughed. I was like, yeah, right. Like, this is the last person.
Yeah, I didn't believe it either.
This could have happened to.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like if it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or some older basketball player who was a legend, or even like Magic, like one of these guys that's older, I'd be like, okay, but Kobe was this guy that was going to have...
His second life was just starting.
It was. He was going to have this big career in, film and all kinds of stuff, and like he had his girls, and I mean, that was the part that just was completely devastating.
No question, and I look at... No question, and I look at images over the last several nights of his friends and looking at pictures of him and his daughter. In fact, yesterday, I wish I didn't find this video, but I did. And it's a video of him coaching in a small gymnasium at a practice. So not only his daughter is there, but I believe a few other girls that died in that helicopter crash were in that practice, including one of the parents and his assistant coach. From what I've heard, was a wonderful woman, his assistant, who also died. And I'm watching this practice, and I'm seeing not the crazy competitive Kobe Bryant. I'm seeing how great he was as a teacher and how good he was with these young girls and how positive he was. And I got choked up yesterday. I'm telling you, I've gotten choked up every night.
Oh, man. I flat out cried. I'm not going to lie. When it first went down and I saw the tribute, like, watching Shaq on TV and like, there's no silver lining of this. I mean, it is just awful every way you look at it. The only thing that I think came about from it that was even remotely positive was watching guys like Shaq, and, he said when he was, I don't know if you watched him on TV.
I did. He said he hasn't talked to Kobe in 3 years. Yeah.
Well, no, but I love that he reached out to Rick Fox. He reached out to other guys,
which was good.
He had not spoken to, and even like Kendrick Perkins, right after it happened, he reached out to Kevin Durant. He said, "I love you, man. Like, I can't. Life's too short for us to fight about."
And I
like
think,
that.
that's a lesson learned. And I think it's sad that Shaq didn't listen. Kobe was not the easiest person in the world to play with.
I know that.
But with that being said, I I think, Shaq is feeling guilt, and I understand why he's feeling that. And, I don't think anybody expected this to happen. I'm not blaming Shaquille, but the fact they haven't spoken in 3 years, I think he's feeling guilt because of that. And he's right. We need to reach out to people that we care about. Obviously, Shaquille and Kobe had a love for one another. It was a love-hate relationship, but they loved one another. And you're right. That was very telling, and I appreciated Shaquille being honest. And it's also heartbreaking to hear his friends talk about all these great stories about him. And when I hear these SOBs call him a rapist,
I lose my mind. And I'm not even like a reactionary person, and I generally am pretty cynical, and I'm kind of just like, whatever. I was pissed. Like I was.
I am too.
Legitimately, because I mean, forget like whatever. I'm not defending Kobe and the fact that he cheated on his wife and clearly something went down. I'm not going to call him a rapist because he's not.
He's not. He cheated on his wife.
Not a rapist. He cheated on his wife. He literally was not accused of rape. I'm sorry to tell you this, but the amount of people that he inspired and the way that he lived his life, like that doesn't make up for it if he was. But I look at this guy who, after that incident, had many years of happy marriage. He has 4 daughters. He was, so involved with women's sports. This is who you're going to say this about? Like,
it's disgusting.
All of the good things that he did.
It's terrible. It's disgusting. And I also say,
misguided.
6 months ago, 6 months ago, I saw Kobe Bryant. I was sitting about 10 feet away from him. He's there with Gigi, his daughter, at a Las Vegas Aces basketball game. I took a few pictures. I'm lucky enough to have been able to have interviewed him over 10 times. I shook his hand and I said a quick hello to him. Always did interviews with the media, treated the media with respect. Always treated fans with respect. Autographs, the pictures he took. The opposite of Michael Jordan, as far as I'm concerned.
Totally.
And I'm not, just the opposite. In fact, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said Michael Jordan in his lifetime cares more about Nike than humanitarian issues. Kobe was the absolute opposite. Yeah, he had his sponsors, but the people that he touched and all the people that he reached out to, it's incredible. So we definitely agree on that, and we should ostracise all these idiots that are calling Kobe Bryant a rapist. Yeah, there's no question.
I lost my and the best was on Evan Rachel Wood was, I mean, the backlash was unbelievable, and people kept just spamming her Instagram with this photograph of her with her arm around Woody Allen at a premiere.
Oh, I love it.
But
I love it.
Such
hypocrisy.
It's such Hollywood.
You know what? Maybe she's a racist. Maybe we don't know, but it certainly doesn't speak very highly of her. Speaking of ostracizing someone, let's move on to Harvey Weinstein. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Mr. X, Hollywood conservative. He's a producer out there in L.A. And also a Donald Trump supporter. I forgive you for that, Mr. X, as you know. Let's talk about Harvey Weinstein here. So how about this story that's just come out where apparently he's talking to an actress about starring in one of his films. And this was a situation that took place in a hotel room back in 2004. We're talking about, of course, Harvey Weinstein. Her name is Dawn Dunning, now 40 years old. She said she met Harvey Weinstein when she was a waitress at a nightclub in Manhattan. She's saying Harvey Weinstein took her to his hotel suite, fondled her genitals before urging her to not make a big deal about this. And then he told her, dangling movie gigs in front of her, but told her she wouldn't get them if she didn't have a threesome with his assistant. I mean, what do you make of this awful story that's just come about? I certainly believe her.
Oh, I do too. And that's it. Bringing it back slightly to Kobe, like this is the other end of the spectrum. Like when you have so many women and so many people coming out against someone, like in this case, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. And it's also, just, I'm not going to call myself a Hollywood insider, but I am to an extent. I've been in the industry.
You're around the business for a long time. Yeah.
Everyone knew this about Harvey. I mean, everybody has known this for 20 years, that he was an absolute monster. And Harvey's now, he's doing everything he can. I know that he got like a female attorney and, to try to represent him and stuff, similar to what happened with Kobe, in Denver. And it's just like, I don't know what this guy can even do at this point. Like, he's just so awful and so gross and has no friends that are going to defend him because he was such an a-hole to everyone when he was in power,
Yeah,
so it's like nobody's got his back because they shouldn't, because he treated them like crap.
What do you make, Mr. X, of this guy, pretending like he has these major back problems, which, by the way, I don't believe for a second, as he stumbles his way into court, and then he's seen in some videos walking up and down stairs, no problem. What do you make of that?
I mean, as a former private investigator who did surveillance on people for workers' comp fraud, I saw a lot of people with neck braces heading to their medical appointment and then followed them to soccer games afterward. And I will just say that, I think my professional medical analysis is that Harvey's just fine.
Yeah. All right. So 2 questions for you, tying in Harvey Weinstein and Kobe Bryant in this essence. There's obviously going to be a couple movies made about this eventually. I don't see how there's not, right? So my 2-part question is, who do you think would play Harvey Weinstein, and who do you think would play Kobe Bryant?
Oh man, that's a good one. Harvey, gosh, maybe like a fat John Lovitz. Like maybe he could. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he's already kind of fat, but like
you must have a threesome with me.
Packed on even more. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Harvey can.
Hey, I got one. How about Jeff Green from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
There you go. That's a good idea. For Kobe, I kind of hope they don't make a movie about it. I know they will, but I mean, for Kobe, I would love it if it was an unknown, or even like they went the Ray Allen and He Got Game thing and cast like a young, talented NBA player, like a kid who is an actual, basketball player. Like Ray Allen was really good in that movie, and Kevin Garnett was really good in Uncut Gems.
I thought he was excellent. Yeah, I actually thought he was excellent. I agree with you on that one. He did a really good job for somebody that doesn't have, any experience acting.
He's not an actor.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be really tough to find somebody that can fit that role. That'd be tough. That'd be tough for anybody. But I think certainly a movie has to talk about the positive things that he's done in his life and the hard work and how obsessed he was with his craft. Right. And he said
think they'll do a really good documentary about it. I think that'll probably be first, and there might even. I think there already has been, but I think there will be a really good.
I hope so.
Yeah, and I think that'll show all the sides, and nobody's perfect. And that's the thing about it is like I'm in no way justifying whatever happened with Kobe, but like it's so stupid to look at somebody who has had so many positive, like I just think honestly it's such a weird thought, but I think back to like Abraham Lincoln, right? And I'm like he's looked upon because he freed the slaves in this country, which was so massively right. Mm-hmm. And like if TMZ had been around back then, trust me, I guarantee you he had skeletons in his closet, just like everyone else.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like,
yeah.
And so it's like that now, because of just how stupid society is, like we look at somebody like that and who was essentially a hero in almost every respect, and they would just focus on this one small aspect of their life. Like that's not who Kobe was. Like that's who Harvey Weinstein is, because that was like a recurring thing. But again, Kobe, like after that, he was happily married to Vanessa. She forgave him. They stayed together for 15, 16 years after that. He had 4 girls. Like he was supporting women's sports in every way. And, like that's what everyone should be talking about. And most people were. So.
Well, most logical, normal people that are not racist or don't have a lot of hate inside of them, I agree. If you're joining us, he is the Hollywood conservative, Mr. X. Okay, Mr. X, let's talk about your favorite guy on television, that is Don Lemon. By the way, he's not my favorite guy either. I've never been a Don Lemon fan. I think he's horrible on the air, just like I don't think Rachel Maddow's very good on the air, just like I don't think Laura Ingraham is good on the air. The difference is I think Laura Ingraham is a racist, evil witch. But anyway, that's another story for another show. So Don Lemon the other day, I don't know if you saw this. We're going to play the audio for you. This is Don Lemon on with a few guests, and they're mocking Trump supporters in a way that I thought was extremely unprofessional, and also the way Don Lemon reacted. Let's play this audio, then we'll talk about it.
And the third thing, I don't know how many,
Uh-oh, what happened?
Only them elites know where Ukraine is. Sorry, I apologize. But by the way, oh my God! But you know what? But it was Rick's fault. I blame Rick. But in all honesty, blame you know what Rick. NPR should do?
Why not? Sorry, hold on. Wait.
Can I tell you
give me a second? Hold on. Sorry. That was good. Sorry, Rick. That was a good one. I needed that.
So basically, they're making fun of Southerners, and they're labeling Trump supporters as all being idiots. And then Don Lemon is laughing. He takes a Kleenex and wipes his eyes. To me, it was extremely unprofessional. There's a lot of things that you could say on Fox News that people do on a daily basis that are also unprofessional. But what is your reaction to that? Being a Donald Trump supporter, being a conservative, living in Hollywood, what's your take on this?
I mean, well, I'm from the South. I mean, I'm from Florida, so I don't get wildly offended and get upset because, quite frankly, there are a bunch of stupid rednecks in the South. But with that said,
there are. You're right.
it just speaks to how out of touch the kind of Hollywood elite are, and they're just so baffled because they live in their bubble here in Hollywood where everybody is rich and just drinks lattes and gets their butthole bleached. But like, there is enough.
Boy, that's a nice thought.
There is more to this country. Like they don't realize that, the people in Arkansas and the people in Virginia and the people in Kentucky and the people in Georgia, don't like them. And there's a heck of a lot more of those people than there are
you're
here
right.
and in New York.
You're right.
Until they start embracing that side of society that maybe they don't care for, they're just going to continue losing presidential elections and wondering how they lost because
it's elitism, and I think they're doing a disservice to Democrats. I think they're doing a disservice because I think there are some people out there that are not sure who they're going to vote for, including myself. It's elitism, and it's wrong, and I agree with you. By the way, going back to the bleaching comment, I certainly don't need a bleaching, but I certainly need a cleaning. But we will leave it at that. Yeah,
come to L.A., man. Every street corner you can find a.
Are you serious?
That does that. Oh man.
Every street corner.
I mean, in West Hollywood.
Wow.
If you want to talk about man, sort of, I mean, we could talk about it off the air.
God.
I don't want you to have to use the dump button, but I mean, it is becoming very popular.
Well, when you use that part of your body, when you talk about that part of your body and you're using the word dump, you have to be very, very careful with what you say.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is it's like massage parlors in Chinatown in Las Vegas, right? It's same deal.
No, it's essentially the hygienic things that most women tend to do. It's becoming quite popular for many of the men.
I don't understand that. Like, that's the last part of a female anatomy that I want to be up close and personal with. Maybe I'm just weird in saying that. I don't understand the fascination with that. I just don't get it. I get why women do plastic surgery. I think sometimes they do it for the wrong reasons, and sometimes they do it for good reasons, right? I mean, we had a girl in studio last week who's a former Playboy model. And I asked her, I said, why did you get a boob job at 18? You didn't get it for a boyfriend. No. She said, no, I got it only for me. And I respect that.
Sure.
What I don't respect are the people that the women or men that get it done because of their significant other. I think that's selfish and ridiculous.
And it's disgusting. I mean, I'm very much would love to actually see a woman age rather than look like some Renee Zellweger-esque freak of nature with like a permanent Joker smile. That is so unattractive to me. And, getting a boob job is what it is. Like, I know a lot of women who have had kids and things start to sag and they want to, and fine. Like, I have no issue with that. You do your thing.
Parts of my body are sagging too, so I can relate to that.
Yeah, get a mommy makeover, or in your case, I guess, a fat guy makeover. And, I don't hate on that at all. And I see that, but obviously, for vanity, and it just doesn't look good. I mean, I knew a woman who was literally getting like wires installed under the skin of her face connected to her bone to like pull her skin up. And I was just like,
that's
this
sick.
Is horrifying. This is disgusting. Like, and
I'll tell you, I think it's the Kim Kardashian syndrome where I see some of these women walking around, and some men too. They look like clowns, right? They've got the lips, they've got the lips done, they've got the nose job, they've got the cheeks. And by the way, it's not like we can't see it. It's not like you're faking.
Instantly.
Like, I mean, like, listen, when it comes to boobs, since we're on that subject, sometimes you don't know, right?
But better.
But you look at some people and the plastic surgery they get, they literally look like they could be in the circus. It's just bizarre and disgusting.
No, trust me, it looks bad almost 100% of the time.
I feel bad for them because I think it's got a lot to do with possibly insecurities. And listen, I was born bald. You don't see me with fake hair on my head.
Me too, man. You've seen me, and I'm not wearing a toupee, and women love me. And
with that
love my bald head.
But with that being said, if somebody were able to enhance my phallus and make it 3 or 4 inches larger, I probably wouldn't have a problem with that. But that's another story for another show, Mr. X.
I'll send you a pump in the mail. Maybe you can get some results.
Well, know what? We just had the Porn Expo in town, so I lost my chance on that one. But yeah,
there you go. You could have gotten it in person and saved shipping costs.
There's a lot of things. Trust me, there's a lot of things I've could have gotten in person there. But hey, Mr. X, always
including STDs. Yes.
Oh yeah, that as well. But anyway, Mr. X, always appreciate it, my man, when you come on and sharing your perspective on Kobe Bryant. That was really cool.
Of course,
I think we're both in agreement there, my man. I always love having you on, and I always love having your perspective. Thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to catching up with you next week. Okay, my man.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right, you too, my man. That's Mr. X, the Hollywood conservative, longtime L.A. producer in L.A. He's actually lost jobs because he is a Trump supporter, which I think is completely ridiculous, by the way. I'm on his side. He's actually a very smart guy, too. And, kind of in the middle like me. He's a Trump supporter, but he's a reasonable Republican. I respect that. We'll take a quick break. Coming up next, Darcy Spears from Channel 13, her Dirty Dining segment coming up.